The Federal and Thomas Hospital Puliangudi jointly present the Tenkasi Marathon 2025. This event is co-presented by Selvarani Readymades and powered by Repco Home Finance and Sriram Nalamani Yadava Educational Institutions. Run for Health on Sunday, June 29.
Hello and welcome to the Federal. We have with us Professor Akhlaque Ahmad from Jawaharlal Nehru University's Center of Persian and Central Asian Studies. And we'll be discussing the Iran-Israel conflict, particularly in connection with the situation of Indian students in Iran. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Shukriya.
So, sir, before we begin, I just wanted to, if you could tell us what has been your connection with Iran.
I'm professor of Persian and Central Asian Studies and also the chairperson. And so besides the language and literature, I teach and I work on the history, culture, society, and the contemporary situation is also the part of my expertise. And I have been there for many a time for seminars, conferences, and during my own PhD research work. So I'm well aware of the country and visited, traveled a lot there.
Okay. So, sir, the other thing I wanted to know is that, why are there so many Indian students in Iran? Do you know what fields they are in and why do so many of them go there to study?
Not only in Iran, Indian students, I visit in Central Asia, the whole Central Asia is full of Indian students, particularly the medical and engineering colleges. Whenever I see on Tashkent airport, there are students from Kyrgyzstan, Indian students, and Tajikistan. And recently I was invited by the Tashkent Samarkand Medical University, and the Vice Chancellor told me that there are more than 3,000 Indian medical students who got admission during last 2-3 years, and particularly after the war started in Ukraine. There were 20,000 students, and they had to return back, and they could not get here the help. So they had no option but to go to these countries. Similarly, in Iran also, there are around 3,000, I think, students, not exact the number we have, but there are large number of students in medical colleges, also in the engineering colleges and other studies. So these countries are neighboring countries, as well as they are also economic. The kind of education we have, these are a little, or rather, means the kind of fee you pay here in India, in 1 year, you can get a degree in these countries. So that is very economic, and that's why Indian students go there and do a study.
Okay. So now let's jump into the exact issue. So I wanted to know that ever since this kind of warlike situation has developed, have you been in touch with the students there? And if you could tell us, what have you got to know from them?
Not exactly the all students I'm in touch with, but there are many students who studied in JNU, and they have returned back. So, and some of them are my students who studied in my center. So they do tell about. I asked just as a courtesy that how they are. They told we are fine. There is no issue. Even in yesterday's, you might have heard that people are vacating Tehran, and I asked. They told no, everybody is in Tehran. Maybe 1% people have gone. And also it is a kind of because Iranians are people who travel a lot within the country also, and you will see on Thursday evening, because Friday, Wednesday evening, because Thursday and Friday is the holy days there. So Wednesday evening you will see a whole rush of the cars on the road moving towards northern part. So I think because of this war situation, the holy days are declared and offices and schools and universities are closed. So they are moving there. But regarding our students, the Indian students who are studying particularly in Tehran, uh, different colleges, universities of Tehran, they have moved from Tehran to some other places, and our embassy has helped them a lot. So I was told that around uh, more than 1,000 students were moved from Tehran to some other uh, safer place or another campus. Similarly, those who want to return, the embassy asked them to go to uh, borders of uh, Armenia, and there they are doing to making all the arrangements to for the return of these students. So there is no uh, emergency kind of situation. It is normal. Yeah.
So, which are these areas that you were saying are slightly more safer where these students have been moved to?
Generally, northern part of Iran and outside Tehran, basically outside Tehran, and beside that, the areas away from the installations of maybe like oil refinery or maybe the defense related things, installations and establishment. So if you are away from there, you are generally in a safer place.
Okay. So the Indian advisory has been that they should move out of there, and you said that some students told you that the embassy really helped them. Do you also
Yes.
know if there are students who have had to either stay put or move out with their I mean make their own arrangements to move out?
Yes, generally, because they are in the large number, and the situation of vacating Tehran came just very means at last hour. So embassy, what I saw the notice that they have asked not only the Indian students but the Indian citizens also, because there are large number of Indians working there. So they have asked that if they can manage with their own resources, they should move like other places, safer places, or if they want to return to India, so they can go to Armenia, that is open border. Okay, and and there are Indian officials. They can arrange for them. And if they do not have any kind of help or they are somewhere stuck, they can contact Indian embassy, and they have shared the numbers also. So that is there.
Sir, in the first few days where the airstrikes and attacks were taking place, when you said that you had been able to speak to some students at that point, what did they tell you about the situation there in Iran?
One of my student who did PhD with me, uh, she messaged me. She sent a message that we in the morning on the 10th, that we she lives in Tehran. So she told we got up with the this the bomb was dropped on the city. So then we got panicked, and then, but later, uh, in spite of the fact that bombing is on and not any suffering is there also in some part of Tehran, but most of the people are still there, and Iranians are very resilient people, a great civilization. They have also war-tested people. For 8 years, they were in war with Iraq, and later also. So there is no panic kind of situation in the country, uh, though they are facing lots of issues, and there are also internal uh, sabotage is also there. Yes.
Okay. Sir, I wanted to ask you initially, like compared to other places here, we are not really seeing a lot of, there are some reports, of course, of Indian students in Iran, what they felt, what they said, but we are not getting a lot of reports from them. So, what do you think is the reason for why they have been relatively silent, I would say?
I think students are generally uh, they are young students. Just after 12, they go for their studies for medical or engineering. So they are not in the social media or media in that way, and that's why uh, in the beginning there was some students, I think, when they were thinking of going away from Tehran, particularly, they uh, were asking and requesting Indian authorities to help them to go out. But I think later the situation normalized, and I think very promptly the Indian embassy in Tehran, they responded, and they published uh, the contact numbers for any kind of help. So now I think the situation is fine.
But do you think the government there or somebody has, some authorities have also told them that it is better not to, I don't know, put yourself out in the media or social media or anything like that?
That happens in any country that is facing war. That is happening in Israel also. They have banned all kind of media. So similarly in Iran, I think also they have asked people not to share uh, these things, sensitive uh, news. So that, I think, uh, there are instructions for the people, and that's why I think. mm,
Any final thoughts, anything else that you would like to say in this context?
just that war is not the solution of any issue for any country or any. Just the sanity should prevail over, and the world community should come out and help uh, to have peace in the world. So it is basically the failure of the world community, the humanity, that a war breaks out. That is what we should have, and we should say to the people.
The Federal and Thomas Hospital jointly present the Tenkasi Marathon 2025. This event is co-presented by Selvarani Readymades, powered by Repco Home Finance and Sriram Nallamani Yadava Educational Institutions, along with associate sponsors Treasure Island International School, Homeway Properties, PPR Power Tech, and Premium Samsung Cafe. Run for Health on Sunday, June 29. Entry is free. All are welcome.